Hello photographers, it is Miss G. Today I'm going to show you some basic photo editing tricks. We're going to use Pixlr. First of all, make sure you have your photos on your computer or your laptop or whatever it is that you're going to edit your photos with. You can use Google Drive or whatever and make a folder. Just get your photos there. Step 2, get to the website to edit your photos. I'm going to use Pixlr. If you want to use something different, that's fine. I recommend Pixlr. It's closest to Photoshop, and Photoshop is what the professionals use to edit their photos. So I want to kind of give you that exposure. So Pixlr has two different kinds. They have Pixlr X and Pixlr E. We're going to use Pixlr X first. So now we're going to open that photo using the app or the website. Pixlr does have an app, so you could use that too. So find your photo, open it up. And whenever you're editing photos, there's this thing called layers. And we're going to be working with that a lot. Layers are just different layers of your photo. So once you put your photo in there, it's always a good idea just to make a copy of your layer. So that way, if you totally mess up your photo, you can just easily bring it back. You can hide the layer, just like I showed you with a little check mark. This layer is locked so that we don't accidentally mess it up. Sometimes it's hard to get that little thing going. So this one is unlocked. And what I want you to do is just play around with the different things that you can see here, just to get yourself familiar with the program. So if you're not using Pixlr, do the same thing, just figure out and try to do all of the different tricks that you can with that program. If you're using the Photoshop Express on your phone, you can do the same thing. Just play around with the settings that they have. So now I'm just trying all these different settings. It's black and white. I can change the color. And don't forget, there's always undo. If you're like, nope, I don't like that, undo. Alright, so I'm just kind of showing you some different things you can try. We'll go into more detail of each of these things, but I just wanted you guys to kind of see a lot of the different things that you can do with Pixlr. You can even do some artistic stuff like almost like paint, where you kind of smudge your artwork, but I don't want to do that. In photography, usually we keep things the way they were when we took the photo. We just change it a little bit. But, yeah. Let me see, light, you can change the brightness. Two of the main things that when you have a photo that you would want to check is the exposure and the brightness, and a little bit of the contrast. Those three things usually make your photo look a little bit better. You just kind of play around with them just a teensy bit. You can click and compare and you can see the difference as you're working. Like, wait a minute, what did it look like before? Oh, okay, yeah. No, I don't like that. Or yes, I do like that. Okay. So even when it's black and white, you can still edit things, okay? There's not just one black and white setting. I love black and white photography. We will talk about that another day. So now I'm adding a new layer. So I have my original and I have the new flower picture that it's black and white, and now I'm adding another layer. What's cool about this is I can add something on top of it. So I'm adding some elements, I'm trying these different things out. You can change the transparency so it kind of blends with your photo. I think that's okay. So again, I just want you guys to play around with these settings. Sometimes a little ad pops up if you're using the web version. Just close it. All right. You can also move around the layers. Play around and say, no, I want that on top. No, I want that above that. Now you can't move a locked layer, okay? You would have to unlock it and then move it. You can hide a layer by clicking the little check mark. So what does it look like when it's just like that? Okay, and on each layer, there's more settings. You can choose the blending mode. That's how the layers get mushed together. So now, once you have your picture that you like, you're going to download it and save it. I would recommend saving it as a PNG. A JPEG sometimes loses its quality after a while, so PNG is best. And that's it. It should just pop up in your downloaded items. Okay, so now I'm going to show you Pixlr E that works a little bit more like Photoshop. So there's my finished picture. Looks kind of cool. Looks like the flowers in amber or something. So here's Pixlr E. So this is the more like advanced thing. It has the same settings, so you just got to go home and then you hit Pixlr E, or you can type in the web address that's right there in front of you. It looks very similar, but it has this the layout is way more like Photoshop. So there's your layers. Same thing. You can make sure you make a copy of your layer. Just make a habit of doing that. Make a copy of your original layer and lock the other one. That way you don't mess it up and it's easy just to see to go back. And so here you can adjust the exposure. We'll talk about this histogram another time. You can move that over so you can actually see what you're doing while you're moving these levels. Okay. And you can hit the compare button. So if I put it drastically, you can see, oh, okay, yeah, no, I think I like it better this way. And under adjustment, that's where the brightness and contrast are, the hue and saturation. This one's kind of cool, it's curves. You have to plot a point or two first. So once you plot that point, then you can kind of drag it and it changes the levels of that certain color that you have highlighted. So you can really come up with some really cool stuff out there too. You can go to your layer, you can go to filter, and filter has some different effects as well. You just kind of play around with these and so that you can get to know the program. That one's always kind of cool. That's the edges, find the edges. And now if I bring back my original layer and I change the transparency of that edges layer, it's like I have them blended together. I think that's pretty cool. There's undo. If you don't like it. You can also go to undo under edit undo. You can make it pixelated. Okay, you know, you can have a lot of fun seeing what all the different things you can do. And there's always the button undo if you don't like something. You can do mosaic, which is kind of like pixelate, but it makes it into like little triangles. So you can see there's a lot to play with here. And we haven't even gone over all those tools on the left in that little toolbar. There's just so much to show you. There's no way I could show you everything in one little video. But just wanted to give you a little preview so that you can see some of the different things that Photoshop or Pixlr can do for you. So I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to add a paint bucket which fills in the whole space with a color. Okay, and so don't freak out. Oh my gosh, I can't see my picture. Just change the transparency and it will kind of blend the two layers together, or you can do the blend mode and choose a different way to mix those layers together. Okay. Now if you're a photo purist, maybe you don't want to do all those funky things to your photo. That's fine if you just want to adjust the lighting and make it look better. Make sure you save it as a PNG, download it, and that's it. So make sure that you share your picture so that we all can see the artwork that you are making. I have set up KidBlog, which is a blog for you to share all of your awesome artwork. So make sure that you create a blog post and post one of your favorite pieces that you have made. See you next time.